So today, finally, I managed to get my first vaccine shot. And so another 15 days from now, I presume I'll have a lot of immunity and things are improving. I suppose all of you also are in kind of positive mood after 1 year. Things are improving everywhere, and that's very nice. And it's also nice to see many of you who are keen on health. Though I must say, in the last year, a lot of people who are normally careless about health have started realizing that they cannot take their health for granted. And it's been true for me also. Earlier, I used to say nothing's going to happen. We are taking care of our health, nothing will happen. But now we are paying special attention. And so I'm very happy to be speaking to this community now, because these are sort of, I would call you sort of like-minded people. आप भी आपके health को तंदुरुस्त रखने में interest रखते हो, enough to check it at 9 in the night. So I'm pretty sure you are serious people, and I would like to give you some very interesting stuff today. A lot of this has been my own work, and some of it is, of course, learned from the rest of the world over last at least 15 years. And so I'm going to talk about some anti-aging strategies. How do you prevent aging, slow down aging? So the first screen is, look at these. These have been some of our heroines, especially for those of you who've been 40 years old, 40, 50, 60 years old, and see what has happened to them with age. So this has happened, right? So aging happens to everyone, including our superstars. And so if that has happened, ye bhi hone wala hai. Maybe not exactly like this, but something like this will happen. The only thing these pictures don't do is tell you what happens in the health level inside. It doesn't tell you किडनी किसकी खराब होएगी, जॉइंट्स किसके खराब होएंगे, विजन किसकी खराब होएगी, लिवर किसका खराब होएगा. That you will not know looking at these pictures. They are just dramatic. They are showing you skin aging. They are not showing you the overall aging. But you can be sure, and I can be sure, that something like this will also happen to us. And so today's talk that I'm going to give you is not about how to avoid aging or how to prevent aging. It is more to slow down aging. And the reason is, as it will be clear, I'll give you some principles also. I'm not going to tell you, ye karo, ye karo, ye karo. I'm going to tell you certain principles that you follow and use your brain further, because you are responsible for your health, not your doctor, not your advisor, so to say. Because all our job is to tell you, and it's your job to apply. Nobody can force us to do those kind of things. Now, these are two pictures. One is my running a marathon in 1989. You can obviously guess who the person is, that Chintu guy here. That was 1989. That was more than 32 years back. And last year, before COVID, I did another marathon. So that was, 31 years of running marathons. And I learned a lot about it, because when you are young, you run marathon as different thing. When you are 30 years older than your earlier self, you learn something else. To keep yourself marathon fit, you learn in that journey, and some of that journey's part I'm going to share with you. So what happened is, around year 2000, let me see if I have an interesting slide. Okay, so I'll keep it at this. Around 2000, 2001, 2004, I started realizing that however well I train, and I used to train a lot, I was a fast runner, I realized that I could not become equally good in year 2000. I was slowing down. And so I said, is it because I'm getting old? Is it because I'm aging? And some of the things that I'm going to share with you have come out of that thinking, which started in year 2000. And what I found is how people age and this and that. And without going into it, I realized that a marathon runner should slow down only by about 12%. If he's a man, in about 25 years, he'll slow down only by 12%. But I was slower by 25, 30%, in spite of a lot of training. So I tried to think, what is happening? Why am I slowing down by 25%? Or is it that the world's best runners are slowing down so much less? And that got me thinking about this aging part. So I realized that in my running, whatever is needed in running may you don't need your eyes. Running may you don't need your, I would say, liver, right? Running may you need your lungs, you need your heart, you need your joints, you need your legs. So some of the best people in the world are not slowing down. Their organs are not slowing down so much in 25 years. And my organs are slowing down more. So why is that happening? And this is probably true for many of you also. 20 years back, 10 years back, you are very healthy. And suddenly in 15 years, you are no more healthy. It's like, your fitness. Pehle you could climb 7 stories without stopping. And now 1 story chad jate hai building mein and you start puffing. and you try to say what has happened. Is it normal? So the question is, maybe after 20 years you will slow down from 7 stories to 6 stories, possible, but 7 story to 1 story nahi hona chahiye. So what is going wrong? Can we do something to slow it down? And so my whole talk about anti-aging is to tell you, you should age only what would naturally age, and there should not be any extra aging beyond that, and which we are noticing in so many people. So $1 million question: what are the best people in the world doing to slow down this, or are there any healthy aging strategies? And I'm going to walk you through so some of the points. Now, a lot of us, आप में से बहुत सारे लोग will be talking about preventive medicine. Preventive medicine is in fashion, it's like a lot of these uh, health things. Now, what is preventive medicine? This is a normal person on the left side, and on the at the bottom is sick person. So curative medicine, या अपना जो medicine रहता है, जो doctors रहते हैं, what they do is when you go from normal to sick, they lift you up, they bring you back to normal. That is called curative medicine. Preventive medicine is ensuring that you don't go from normal to sick level. So that is preventive medicine. And you will see in my talk today that preventive medicine is actually a bad strategy for anti-aging. Many of you think, oh, preventive is great. I take care of my health. I prevent disease. That's a bad strategy for anti-aging, and it will become clear. And then I'll tell you how to do that correctly. Think about this. Why prevention is a bad strategy? ये मोबाइल देखो, टेबल पे रखा है, no problem, right? गिरा तो है नहीं, just prevent it from falling. It will not fall. Now look at this mobile. This is table के कोने पे है. It's not falling. So what's the difference between this mobile and this mobile? Nothing, right? But if you have to prevent this mobile from falling, तुम्हारा तो हवा टाइट हो जाएगा. You will be sitting so close to it. अरे भाई थोड़ा धक्का मत मार. कोई वो कमरे में आता है तो भाई थोड़ा धीरे धीरे आ जा. Don't walk so fast because that mobile will topple. That is prevention. Prevention means you're always worried about everything. Somebody gives you bhajia, you say, अरे हवा अच्छी है, बारिश गिर रही है बाहर, लेकिन भजिया में नहीं खा सकता because it's unhealthy. Now I'm not saying eat bhajia, but I'm trying to tell you that you're thinking about preventing is going to make you stressed all your life. Then you become a health not fanatic, it's called health paranoid person. You're always worried about this. ये करूंगा तो क्या, वो करूंगा तो क्या. So there is a better strategy. It's called wellness. What is wellness? Wellness, and that goes very well with anti-aging. So wellness means this is your normal. You elevate your health to a higher level, which is well, from sick to normal to well. So you have more energy, you have less problems. It's not, normal is enough, but that mobile also was enough, right? This is normal. On the left is what you would say, it's like normal. This is also normal. Nothing is going to happen. What's the difference in the two mobiles? The second one on the right hand side is very vulnerable to anything going wrong. And that is the problem with prevention. You're always watching that mobile. And so in wellness, you just push this mobile from right to left, push it inside the table. And so you don't have to worry, bahar se koi bachcha bhi aata hai khelne, you don't have to shout. You push the mobile to the center. And so that is the strategy. So concept of wellness is same as concept of anti-aging, in the sense you are building what is called a margin of safety or spare capacity in the body. Like you have immunity. है यार, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मेरे को कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, मेरे को कुछ, मैं तंदुरुस्त हूँ. But do you have enough spare capacity? So that's the point, pushing life's mobile to the center of the table. And that's the whole strategy. So you may, those of you are young, you don't need to use it to stay young. I mean, if you are 30 years old, you don't need to worry about becoming 70 years old in next 40 years. At least 40 साल लगेंगे उसके लिए. But some of these strategies you can apply to keep yourself healthy on the wellness front. So to not to age is to be like a youth. Now कोई young आदमी है, समझो 20 साल का है, suppose वो 5 सिगरेट पीता है एक के बाद एक, उसको कुछ नहीं होता. He doesn't cough, he has no problem. He smokes as if no problem. And if you are 60 years old, 70 years old, तुम्हारे बाजू में बैठने वाला आदमी smokes a cigarette, you start coughing. So what changed from age 20 to age 60? Age 20, you can abuse your body a lot and nothing happens. Why? Because that's how it is. Because it has spare capacity. तुमने उसको 5 सिगरेट पिलाई, कुछ नहीं हुआ उसको. But when you are 60, तुम्हारे पानी की टाकी has come so low that एक दिन पानी नहीं आता है, you are starving. You are having problem with water, right? So it's exactly like that. A lot of people say things like, है मेरे पास पानी, like in our society, we get 24 hours water and we have an overhead tank. So the general thinking is क्या फर्क पड़ता है, पानी वेस्ट हो गया तो है टांकी में. That's how it is. But aging essentially means the level of your pani ki tanki coming down. So from age 20 to age 60, there is no difference. पानी दोनों टाइम आने वाला है. टांकी फुल है तो भी पानी आएगा, टांकी 1/3 है तो भी पानी आएगा. But age 60 and age 20 I'm comparing. But the day or 2 days or 3 days जब पानी नहीं आता है, तो full टांकी वाला life will continue. But जिसका टांकी 1/3 है, 1/4 है, he will have problem. And that is exactly what is happening in life. And so your age essentially, now this is something, so essentially to prevent aging is to build spare capacity in your body. Take your body 10 years, 15 years, 20 years younger, even if you don't need it, because one day you will need it and you don't know which day you'll need. Another thing, another concept I'm going to give you. Your age is not really cake pe kitni candles lagate ho. Your age is the age of your body's vital organs. This is what I've understood. And when you look at various organs, these are the 12 organs. Now, I'm not going to give you a medical lecture, which is not needed. See, a lot of preventive wellness health is common sense. That's very interesting. You don't need a lot of science behind it. You just need to think common sense wise. कि भाई 20 साल का था तो मेरे को प्रॉब्लम नहीं था. अभी मैं 50 साल का हो गया हूं, मुझे प्रॉब्लम आ रहे. What happened in those 30 years? Something went low in my body, right? Can I prevent it from going too low? So these are the organs that matter, like your brain. As you become old, you start forgetting things. That's not good, right? Your eyes, if your eyesight becomes weaker, you will have problem in old age. Ears, my mother faces that problem. अगर सुनने को नहीं आता है, people start withdrawing from social circle. My mother can't call her friends without hearing it, can't call her friends on their birthdays, because mother can't hear and sometimes their friends can't hear. So they feel, अरे कैसे बात करूं मेरी बचपन की friend से, I can't go to her house, but how can I do? Teeth, I've seen a lot of people, they lose their teeth, so they can't eat. I had one aunt, she used to have all the food, put it in the mixer, mix it, and how can you eat like that? You eat for survival, but your quality of life goes down. So on the other hand, look at this, nose is not important. Your nose is not going to cause any health problem long term. आपका नाक, आपको खुशबू नहीं आ रही है या बदबू नहीं आ रही है, is not going to affect. So some organs will matter, some organs will not matter as it. In fact, your skin will not matter. You look old, your hair will not matter. You look old, but you will not have the actual problems of aging. So मैं जो शाहरुख खान का फोटो दिखाया था, उनको शायद प्रॉब्लम होएगा, but आपको और मेरे को नहीं होने वाला. So you need to keep your lungs healthy. Now think about it. I'll tell you how to think on these things. If your liver is, suppose somebody is drinking a lot of alcohol, his liver gets damaged. So he is 30 years old or 40 years old, but his liver is like a 70-year-old, right? So his eyes are sharp, his brain is sharp, his teeth are good, his digestive system is good. They're all like a 40-year-old, but his liver is like a 70-year-old. So very likely he will have problems of age with liver, okay? And that's this point. The weakest link in a chain will be the problem. Which is the weakest organ in your body? अगर किसी का heart problem है, किसी को diabetes है, किसी के bones weak है, किसी के joints खराब है. I know people who are perfectly healthy, but their joints are weak. And so they can't do many of those activity things, climbing stairs and all that. And so to prevent aging is essentially to keep the age of your organs as low as possible. Or if it is high, you try to take it back as much as possible. And so typical old age diseases, memory loss, vision loss, heart disease, liver में cirrhosis होता है, fatty liver होता है, all these things are old age, so to say, old age problems. But I must say, you want to make sure these are very old age problems. This should not happen at the age of 40. This should not happen at the age of 50. As much as possible, this should not happen at the age of 60, 70, 80. But you start working on them from the age of 30 or 40 or 50, you will have a good long-term benefit of it. So how do you build wellness? Now, this is obviously I can't give you, I'm going to keep my talk for another maybe 10 minutes and then we'll have questions. So I'm going to tell you a few things. Tomorrow you'll learn it's daily deliberate action. So you don't build wellness on a particular day. आज मैं जिम में जाऊंगा, बॉडी बनाऊंगा, नहीं होने वाला है. हर दिन थोड़ा-थोड़ा बॉडी बनने वाला है. So there are 4 pillars and there is a concept called slight edge, written by this guy called Jeff Olson. प्रमिला मैडम का लास्ट नेम भी ओल्सन है, बट उसमें एक एच आता है. So not Stefano Pramila ji ka. So not related to Stefan sir, I presume. but very good author. And he said that long term, every time you try to improve by 1%, half percent, in one day, 1 week, 1 month, there is not much gain. But over 1 year, 1 decade, 20 years, 30 years, there's a huge gain. And so you want to have, and that's what the point of this habits is, that if you form good health habits, long term they'll pay you a lot. It may not do anything tomorrow, it may not do anything a week from now, but it will over a long term. One more point I'm going to give you. हम बुढ़ापे के लिए पैसे बचाते हैं, we save money, right? Why? Because old age we can't earn money. And so it should be a priority. Otherwise, it will not happen. If we don't save money, it will not happen. We'll keep spending, and old age mein paisa khatam ho jayega. So the question is, why not save health for old age? Because you can't earn health for old age anyway, right? 80 saal ka hoega, so you can't become like a 20-year-old. You have to save it today. And so it should be a priority, else it's not going to happen. Now, 4 pillars of healthy aging, very quickly. Adequate sleep. Now, either see all of what I'm telling you is you don't need to have perfect life. You all make mistakes. Like today, I had some coffee. I mean, coffee is not good generally, right? But I had. So what I'm trying to say is, इतना पाप ना करे कि भगवान अपने को ऊपर ले जाए. करना है तो उतना ही करो कि यार भगवान गाली देगा, दो थप्पड़ मारेगा, बोलेगा go back, चल सुधर जा. No, you get what I'm saying. And so 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you are working very hard and very stressful life, then nice, even 9 hours of sleep. Second is positive mental attitude. And positive mental attitude is not like satsang. It actually does something good. What it does, it reduces stress hormones. And stress hormones reduce what is called inflammation in the body and increase your immunity. Exercise. There are various ways of exercise. Obviously, I don't want to go into it. A lot of people don't know. But what you want to do is gentle, light exercise is what will keep you healthy. If you are going to be competing at senior level, then you need high. So this top band is for more like professional athletes. This middle band is for general runners. And this band is actually good for the third level. The yellow wala thing is for most of us. And that's the best part because that helps you burn fat also. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is supplements and nutrition. And then we'll take questions and answers. Now, nutrition just means, see, it's very sad. हमारे दादाजी वगैरह के टाइम में they didn't have to think of nutrition because what they were eating was already nutritious. Today we have to go out of the way to find nutrition, right? पहले तो सब आराम, things were nice, things were easy. Today we have to seek them, we have to find them. It's sad, but at least it's okay. That's life. We can't change. So nutrients we have to take, which we used to get through food, sometimes we don't get. And why do we take? There are 4-5 reasons, and I will not elaborate because वो लंबा talk हो जाता है. So nutrients as raw material. A lot of nutrients are needed in your body. Vitamins are needed, minerals are needed, trace elements are needed, protein is needed, oils are needed, fiber is needed. Lots of them are needed. And nutrients are also needed for organ protection. All these organs, brain को protect करने के लिए कुछ अलग लगता है, पेट को, digestive system को protect करने के लिए कुछ अलग लगता है. Then nutrients are needed for inflammation control. So there are some nutrients which help you reduce inflammation. There are nutrients which reduce oxidative stress. So they are called antioxidants. And the last one, all of you have a PhD in it now in last 1 year, for increasing immunity. Now, immunity is very, very important. It's not just to prevent you from COVID. Immunity is important to prevent cancer, for example. Because how हमारे दादाजी को कैंसर नहीं होता था और हमारे लोगों को होता है, क्यों होता है? Partly because our body's immune system is not good. And it's not that it's always bad. Sometimes it is bad. But जिस दिन तुम्हारे बिल्डिंग के इधर वॉचमैन नहीं है, उसी दिन चोर आने के चांसेस है, right? So what you want to do is ensure there is a watchman outside your society every single day. And that's the role of immunity. That's why you want your immunity high all the time. Now, these are the nutrients for organ protection. And don't go too much into it. But for brain, there is green tea, antioxidants, fish oil is useful. For eyes, lutein is needed. Heart ke liye fish oil, garlic, protein is needed. My point here was, there are 2 points. One is, different nutrients protect your different organs. So there is nothing like a single thing. मेरे को एक लाख दुखों की एक दवा, एक कुछ दे दो, and मेरे brain को भी ठीक करे, वो liver को भी long term healthy रखे, मेरे joints को भी healthy रखे. It doesn't happen. And that's the sad part, because if it were like that, everybody would have said, just ye le lo, ek chammach kha lo, you will be tandurust. It doesn't happen. And so when you are protecting organs, these are some of the things. There could be more. One couple of things you might notice that there are some common ones. Fish oil is pretty common. Fish oil is useful for heart protection, for brain protection, digestive system protection. Fish oil is useful for bone health. You may not know this. Fish oil is very useful for bone health. Now, protein is useful for muscles, but protein is also useful for heart, and especially in old age. Protein is useful for pancreas, like you insulin resistance it will lower. So there are lots and lots of these things. And so what I'm trying to tell you is, if you want to prevent aging, you want to prevent aging of different organs. Now, which of these organs are most important? The organs which are already weak for you. Suppose you have family history of diabetes, worry about your pancreas. Suppose you have family history of heart attack, worry about your heart. If you have family history of arthritis regularly, worry about joints, right? Your mother had fractures and grandmother had osteoporosis, worry about your bones. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that now it's not necessary that just hereditary hai to, all of these are needed, but what do you do? So I will distill it down to three, because itne 15 चीज आपको बोलूंगा तो 15 चीज तो आप कर नहीं सकेंगे. So these are the three things I would advise. Make sure you get enough protein, make sure you get enough omega-3 oils. I prefer fish oil. Agar aap vegetarian ho, to there are other options. You can talk to people, which are not the best options, but kam chalao type hai. And the antioxidants. Now, antioxidants itself is a very long lecture, but I must tell you, aging essentially is degeneration, breakdown. आपने कोविड में गाड़ी 6 महीना यूज नहीं किया तो क्या हो गया? गाड़ी तो चलाया नहीं, खराब क्यों हो गया? Because it was not used, it degenerated. रस पकड़ लिया, इधर कुछ खराब हो गया. Life's nature's things decay, and aging essentially is your body decaying, various organ decay. And at oxidative stress, oxidants, commonly oxidants is what? Junk pakad raha hai gaadi mein, that is oxidation, right? So oxidants are usually weakening your body's various organs, and there are antioxidants which prevent weakening of these organs. So aging's one of the biggest strategies would be antioxidant. And so I don't want to show something. All I'm trying to tell you is there is oxidative stress on brain also, on heart also, on kidneys also, on joints also, on blood vessels also. And look at all these various medical conditions that are caused by oxidative stress. So what is the solution for all of these? You need to look at antioxidants. And there are different antioxidants for eyes and brains, and different antioxidants for joints or for kidney prevention. And so you want to be little appreciative of the fact that antioxidant is not some one single product. What are the various sources? Now, let me tell you why it becomes very difficult to get it from your normal food. Fruits and vegetables have great amount of antioxidants. But look at this. ये हमारे दादाजी के टाइम ट्रू था, ये आपके टाइम क्या सीन है कि these are the oranges, 98% of them have chemicals. Grapes, हम लोग को grapes अच्छे लगते हैं, 91% of them. Grapes पे देखा है कितना वो फवारा किया रहता है, उसमें वो स्किन पे इतना वो पेस्टिसाइड लगाया रहता है. Very difficult, right? So essentially, in theory books, a lot of stuff is good, but practically it becomes very difficult to have these things. In fact, see, this is what is happening. This is very common in India, spraying crops with animal hormone. This is given in pregnancy. It's you store oxytocin. अगर आपके सब्जी पे है तो सब्जी अच्छी होती है, लेकिन you eat it, you have a problem. Lot of time chicken are given antibiotics. दूध में antibiotics आते हैं. And so you say दूध पीऊंगा. आपके दादाजी के टाइम का दूध is very different from the दूध you drink today. And so what do you do? I mean, it's not easy. Now look at this problem. This is not even a health problem. This is a practical problem. WHO, World Health Organization, has said that you get antioxidants, you will get them from food. हम सुनते हैं ना, हम लोग नेचुरल इंस्टाग्राम पे बहुत सारे आते हैं, नेचुरल eat garlic, eat ginger, eat this, eat papaya, eat pomegranate, and their point is, well, they will give you antioxidants and they will give you health. But the problem is this: it's not so easy. You know how many antioxidants you need to have a day to stay healthy? World Health Organization says 6 to 13, 6 for small kids, 13 for whatever, tall, 12 Amitabh Bachchan size. So आपको शायद 10 या 11 लगेंगे. What's a serving? एक मुट्ठी. Your mutti will be different from my mutti. So your mutti ka 10 of them. Itne fruits and vegetables you eat on a daily basis. Now you can't eat 10 bananas. You have to eat 10 different things. How do you eat every day? Kitna paisa padega uska? So these are not very easy options, right? So when I try to tell people, जैसे अरे कुछ फूड वाला बताओ, मतलब ये खाओ यार, अभी क्या करेंगे. Today I went to this mall, some Star Bazaar to buy things. And like, आधा घंटा उसमें ही गया. वो बीटरूट ऐसा, ये अच्छा नहीं है, ये पका नहीं है पूरा, ये गाजर इतना अच्छा नहीं. अरे it's this, you are going to face this. अपने दादाजी के टाइम ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं था, गांव से आते थे, हेल्दी फूड आता था. So this is, see this, 9 out of 10 people, this is Times of India, okay, so I didn't make this story, lack protein in their diet. So protein is deficient. I told you to take antioxidants. You saw this, not possible, is impossible. Protein is a problem. No, so I always tell people you should supplement when. Now I'm not here for any business or not. I don't want to talk about any brands or something. I'm giving you principles. Because tomorrow you're going to say, "ये तुमने ज्ञान तो बहुत दिया, but लेंगे कहाँ से यार? मैं तो 15 vegetables घर में ला नहीं सकता हूँ. एक तो family 4 जन की है, सबको देना तो it's too expensive. It will be 1,000 rupees a day. So you know what? So this is when you should think of supplements. How, where, that you can talk to the person who gave you this link and all that. Under 4-5 conditions, when it's not easy to take. Green tea, for example. Green tea is excellent for your brain. Problem is you need to drink about 1 liter of green tea, and you cannot drink it in 1 tumbler bhar ke. You have to drink it over 10 different things, 100 milli at a time. And that's what they do in China, right? They give you that chota katori, the cutting wala chai every time you go to somebody. So Chinese people get 10 small katoris full of tea, green tea, throughout the day. How are you going to have 10 of those? Then not hygienic to take. Many times some things you say, मैं दूध पीऊंगा कैल्शियम के लिए, कहाँ से लोगे? उसमें antibiotics आएंगे ना. So you have no choice, so you take it. But if you have a choice, you consider from a good quality, maybe a natural source of supplement. Sometimes our foods don't have. No, a lot of India के foods में they have analyzed soil, उसी जमीन में minerals निकालते रहते हैं. तो अभी manganese कहाँ से आएगा? वो बारिश से तो गिरता नहीं है. So manganese has to be in the soil. Once it's gone, right? So new soil has to be there, and we don't have that kind of thing in India. And we need a lot of food to digest. So not WHO guidelines. वो मैं बताया आपको. And last thing is, some of these are not part of our typical meals. देखो, eyes के health के लिए something very useful is lutein. The best source of lutein is marigold. वो अपने झंडू के फूल आते हैं ना, उसमें रहता है. अभी आप में से कितने लोग झंडू के फूल खाएंगे? I've seen cows eating झंडू के फूल. आपको और मेरे को झंडू के वो फूल खाने को थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होएगा, राइट? उसके वो जो छोटे पेटल्स है, वो क्यों खा रहा है भाई, क्या हो गया तेरे को? बोलते नहीं, मेरे को लुटीन चाहिए. So you know those kind of things. It's difficult. The liver के हेल्थ के लिए जो लगता है, it's very difficult. Curcumin. So you know, haldi. Say, I'll tell you, ginger is very good for your pancreas, diabetes, and all that. But you know how much ginger you have to have? 4 grams of ginger. 4 grams of ginger is a lot. Cinnamon, again, these are very useful things, but it's not so easy. So my point here is you need to take a very balanced view on all these. Just to show you that I'm not talking in air. This is what I take. This is my supplement box. And many times people say, "Tu pagal ho gaya hai." And I just want to tell you that I take them because of this. See, what keeps my prostate healthy is not going to keep my joints healthy. And what my joints are keeping, what is keeping healthy can't be my eyes. So I'm just telling you that this is unfortunate. There is nothing like one plant, one tree, one food, one activity, one thinking which will solve. We have to take multiple of these. And so I'm just ending, I just wanted to kind of highlight that with all those things, if I were to really say aging, this is it. At the age of 44, I could break the Indian record for running highest number of marathons in 52 weeks. And this didn't happen accidentally. And it didn't happen because I was very talented. It's not because I was talented. It's because I took care of my body's aging. It took care of my body's degeneration. When you run marathon, it's very degenerative. And so that's all I pretty much wanted to say. I would be happy to take questions. I didn't want to give for more gyan. Pramila will, or the person who has given you the link, can tell you how to specifically acquire. Obviously, I didn't spend time on exercise and sleep and all that because that's not my point. My point is on preventing. But if you take these various nutrients correctly, especially the 3 ones, you can slow down the aging of your organs for years. And think about it. Suppose you are 70 years old. Last point I'm making. Pay very good attention to this. Suppose you are 70 years old, but you have eyes like a 50-year-old, you have brain like a 50-year-old, you have liver like a 40-year-old, you have joints like a 50-year-old, you're, for all practical purposes, you are like a 50-year-old. You're not 70 years old. You'll cut cake of 70 years, but you will do all the activities which a 50-year-old does, not what a 70-year-old does. Your friends will be all walking with stick, very old, and you will be climbing, going for hiking and trekking and playing with your grandkids. So that is the whole point of preventing aging. Preventing aging is not to look like whatever Shah Rukh Khan or Katrina Kaif for next 30 years. Preventing aging is to do things which you could do 20 years back with almost the same ability, slowing down aging. So wish you the very best, stay safe, and thank you very much.
Wow, Madhur, thank you, thank you. Now, Madhur, can we keep you back for like 4 minutes for some Q&As here? So anyone who has questions that relates to the topic we had tonight, please post it in the chat box. And I am going to say goodbye to our wonderful viewers on YouTube, because this Q&A session will be specifically for those of you who are on the 4for Life community. So we're going to keep it a little bit exclusive to you. By the way, in the chat box here, I'm posting Madhur's Instagram profile, because many of you may be interested in very sound researched material on health. It's not so much his Instagram profile, frankly, it's his YouTube channel, but it's simpler for me to put the Instagram channel up there. You can just maybe follow him on Insta, and in his bio, you also have his YouTube channel, Health Sachet, which is honestly, I think, the most thorough, website, YouTube channel in India on nutritional principles and holistic health. It's very well and soundly researched. So have a look at that. The link is in the bio here, and I've posted it on the chat here. You can do